Right now, somewhere in America, a buyer is sitting at a finance desk signing a 72-month loan on an SUV that will cost them more than $14,000 in lost value over the next 36 months. And the worst part is that they genuinely believe they did everything right. They watched the reviews, they read the brochures, they negotiated what they thought was a fair price, and in 24 months, when they try to trade it in, they will discover the truth in the cruelest possible way. The SUV they trusted is now worth thousands less than what they still owe the bank. 2026 is not a normal year in the automotive industry. New emissions regulations are forcing turbocharged engines onto the market before they have been fully validated. Hybrid systems are being rushed into production to hit fleet targets. Software-defined platforms are failing in ways no independent mechanic in your zip code knows how to diagnose. And the dealerships are not going to warn you. They will smile, hand you the keys, and let you walk straight into the trap. Today, you are going to learn the exact names of 3 SUVs you must avoid in 2026. Vehicles being marketed as smart buys, but engineered for regret. Alongside the 3 alternatives that actually defend your money. 2 of the avoid list vehicles are sitting in showrooms right now with aggressive discounts that should be treated as a warning, not an opportunity. Pay attention to the 3rd name on the avoid list because it might be the exact SUV your neighbor just bought, the one your coworker just leased, or the one your spouse has been browsing on the dealer website at 11 p.m. The Smart Buy list ends with a vehicle most luxury shoppers refuse to even consider. And that refusal is precisely why it has become one of the safest purchases of the year. Let's start with the first vehicle on your avoid list. Because if you are currently shopping for a compact SUV, this one is almost guaranteed to be on your shortlist. The Nissan Rogue. Nissan has been aggressively pricing the Nissan Rogue below segment leaders like the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V, sometimes by $3,500 or more on comparable trims, which is the first red flag most buyers completely ignore. The current Nissan Rogue is genuinely attractive on paper, with a sharp redesign, a turbocharged 1.5-liter 3-cylinder engine, a comfortable interior, and a well-equipped mid-grade trim landing around $32,000. Now listen to this. That aggressive pricing exists for a very specific financial reason, and that reason is the one number Nissan would prefer you never see. The Nissan Rogue projected 36-month residual value sits at roughly 48 to 52% across multiple resale forecasts, while the Toyota RAV4 retains close to 65% over the same period. That means, if you finance a $34,000 Nissan Rogue today, you will lose approximately $17,000 of value in 36 months. $17,000 gone. And that number exists before you have even begun to deal with the mechanical risk. Consumer Reports has historically rated the Nissan Rogue predicted reliability below the compact SUV segment average for several recent model years. And owner forums are saturated with complaints centered around the CVT, the continuously variable transmission, which has been Nissan's chronic problem child for over a decade. Now imagine the turbocharged 3-cylinder layered on top of that history. 3-cylinder engines under heavy turbo load run hotter, vibrate more aggressively, and stress engine mounts in ways traditional 4-cylinder engines simply do not. What happens at 70,000 miles when you start to hear that subtle hesitation in the transmission? The kind of slip that does not trigger a check engine light, but tells every experienced mechanic exactly what is coming. A CVT replacement on a Nissan Rogue typically runs between $4,500 and $7,000, depending on your region. And Nissan dealerships have been notoriously inconsistent about honoring goodwill claims once the powertrain warranty expires at 60,000 miles. Here's the trap that closes around the Nissan Rogue buyer. The discount that pulled you into the showroom is the exact same discount the next buyer will demand from you when you try to sell it 3 years later. The Nissan Rogue is not an ugly SUV. It is not a slow SUV. It is a financially dangerous SUV. The marketing is selling you a feeling. The data is screaming a warning. So, if the Nissan Rogue is the trap, what is the smart purchase that sits right next to it on the same dealer lot? The Toyota RAV4 2026, and it has been quietly destroying its competition for almost a decade. Not because it is exciting, not because it is glamorous, but because it understands something the Nissan Rogue does not. An SUV is a financial instrument first and a lifestyle product second. The Toyota RAV4 2026 arrives with a significant generational update this year, including the next evolution of Toyota's hybrid powertrain, pairing a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with refined electric motors and a planetary eCVT, a fundamentally different transmission architecture than the belt-driven CVT inside the Nissan Rogue. Watch this contrast carefully because it changes the entire ownership picture. The eCVT in the Toyota RAV4 has been operating in Toyota hybrids since 2004, and the long-term fleet data is overwhelming. Original eCVT units in earlier Prius and Toyota RAV4 hybrid models have surpassed 300,000 miles on a single transmission with no major rebuild. That is not a marketing claim. That is 2 decades of real-world durability data. Fuel economy on the Toyota RAV4 2026 hybrid lands around 39 to 41 miles per gallon combined, depending on trim, which means at $3.60 a gallon and 15,000 annual miles, you are spending roughly $1,400 a year on gasoline, nearly $700 less than the turbocharged Nissan Rogue under the same driving conditions. Now hear me out on the part that should change your decision entirely. 36-month residual values on the Toyota RAV4 consistently track between 63 and 67% across Edmunds, Kelley Blue Book, and ALG forecasts. A $36,000 Toyota RAV4 2026 hybrid will likely retain around $23,000 of value at the 36-month mark, while the equivalently priced Nissan Rogue lands closer to $17,000. That is a $6,000 swing on what looks like a comparable purchase. The ideal buyer for the Toyota RAV4 2026 is the person who thinks past the test drive, the commuter pulling 30,000 to 60,000 highway miles a year, the suburban family planning to keep the vehicle past 100,000 miles, or the driver who genuinely understands that the trade-in value at the end of ownership matters just as much as the purchase price at the beginning. There is a reason Toyota RAV4 waitlists still exist in dealerships across America in 2026, even as inventory has loosened across the wider industry. Toyota is not discounting it because Toyota does not need to. Now we move into more dangerous psychological territory because the next vehicle on your avoid list wears a luxury badge. And a luxury badge is the single most effective psychological tool dealerships use to make you ignore the underlying data. The Infiniti QX50 is a beautifully styled, quietly engineered, 2-row luxury crossover that has been struggling in the US market for one very specific reason almost no salesperson will mention during the test drive. Under the hood of the Infiniti QX50 sits the VC Turbo, Nissan's variable compression ratio engine. The only production engine in the world that physically changes its compression ratio on the fly using a multi-link mechanism instead of a conventional connecting rod assembly. Now hear me out. In theory, that is brilliant engineering. In practice, that is dozens of additional moving parts, dozens of additional failure points, and a service manual most independent mechanics in your town have never opened. Consumer Reports has rated the Infiniti QX50 predicted reliability below average for multiple recent model years, and owner forums are filled with reports of carbon buildup, oil consumption complaints, and turbocharger-related hesitation appearing at lower mileages than any buyer expects from a $50,000-plus vehicle. Then comes the depreciation, and this is where the Infiniti QX50 transitions from a beautiful object into a measurable financial mistake. Luxury crossovers from second-tier prestige brands like Infiniti, Acura, and Lincoln consistently lose 50 to 55% of their value across the first 36 months of ownership. A $53,000 Infiniti QX50 today will likely transact between $24,000 and $26,000 in 2029. You are paying full luxury money for a vehicle that does not preserve luxury value. Specialized service compounds the pain. A simple oil change at the dealership runs $130 to $180. A complete brake job lands between $900 and $1,200. And if that VC Turbo throws a fault code outside of warranty coverage, you are not looking at a $1,500 repair. You are looking at $4,000 to $8,000 because the engine is genuinely difficult to access and difficult to service. Now imagine paying luxury money for a vehicle that depreciates like an economy car and repairs like an exotic. The Infiniti QX50 is the textbook example of falling in love with the showroom while ignoring the spreadsheet. Beautiful interior, genuinely comfortable ride, catastrophic ownership economics. The smart alternative is a vehicle most luxury shoppers have never even put on their list. And that oversight is exactly why it represents one of the sharpest purchases on the market in 2026. The Mazda CX-50 is what happens when an engineering team decides to build a near-luxury SUV without inheriting the near-luxury liability. Walk up to the Mazda CX-50 in a parking lot, and the first thing you notice is the proportions. Long hood, low roofline, wide track, a stance that genuinely mimics premium European crossovers at a fraction of the entry price. Open the driver door of the Mazda CX-50, and the interior materials punch directly above the badge. Stitched dash, real metal switchgear, supportive seats, a driver-focused cockpit layout that Lexus, Audi, and BMW have been refining for decades. Except in the Mazda CX-50, you are receiving that experience for roughly $34,000 to $42,000, fully loaded. But here is the part that matters more than the materials, the trim, or the styling. The Mazda CX-50 uses a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter four-cylinder as its base engine, and a proven turbocharged 2.5-liter on higher trims. Both bolted to a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. 6-speed automatic, not a CVT, not a dual clutch, not a variable compression experiment. A transmission architecture so well understood that you can find third-party rebuild kits, independent specialists in nearly every city, and durability data going back more than 15 years. Mazda has quietly built one of the strongest powertrain reputations in the industry. And the Mazda CX-50 inherits all of it directly. Consumer Reports has consistently ranked Mazda among the top 3 brands for predicted reliability in recent years, frequently placing it ahead of Honda. Now, look carefully at the financial picture. Residual values on the Mazda CX-50 track between 58% and 62% over 36 months, which is not full Toyota RAV4 territory, but it is dramatically better than what the Infiniti QX50 offers. A $38,000 Mazda CX-50 today will likely retain $22,000 to $23,000 of value at the 36-month mark. And that gap, multiplied across the entire ownership cycle, is the gap between a smart buyer and a regret buyer. The ideal owner of the Mazda CX-50 is the person who refused to overpay for badge prestige, who values how a vehicle drives more than how a vehicle is perceived, and who understands that the smartest luxury purchase is the one that does not need to announce itself in the parking lot. The third vehicle on your avoid list is going to be the most controversial entry in this entire video, because it carries one of the most respected automotive badges in the world. The BMW X1 is the entry point into BMW ownership for thousands of American buyers every single year. And that entry point is precisely the problem. The BMW X1 is engineered to deliver the BMW experience at the lowest possible price target. And at every stage of that engineering process, BMW has been forced to make trade-offs that buyers do not discover until 30,000, 50,000, or 70,000 miles into ownership. Watch the cost of ownership data on this one very carefully. The current BMW X1 uses a transverse-mounted 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, a fundamentally different transmission philosophy than the conventional automatic found in the Mazda CX-50. Dual-clutch units are quick, precise, and engaging on a winding road. But they are also expensive to maintain, sensitive to stop-and-go traffic, and notorious for needing mechatronic unit service or full replacement when they begin to fail. A dual-clutch fluid service on the BMW X1 runs between $500 and $900. A complete mechatronic unit replacement can exceed $5,000. Then comes the rest of BMW ownership, and this is where buyers get blindsided. Synthetic oil changes at the dealership average $180 to $250. A set of replacement run-flat tires can easily land around $1,800. Brake pads and rotors on the BMW X1 can cross $1,500 for all 4 corners. Now imagine all of that operating cost arriving on a vehicle that started at $42,000, but is depreciating at the same brutal 50 to 55% 3-year rate that haunts every entry-level luxury crossover. You are not buying a BMW investment. You are subscribing to BMW operating costs on a 72-month payment plan. Owner data from major reliability surveys has repeatedly placed the BMW X1 in the middle to lower tier of compact luxury SUVs for predicted reliability, with complaints concentrated around electronics, infotainment glitches, and timing chain-related noises in certain build years. Here's the financial truth that should hit hard. The BMW X1 badge will impress your neighbors for exactly 24 months. The cost of ownership ledger will haunt you for 84 months. The biggest financial mistake of your year is not buying a slow vehicle. It is buying a vehicle that demands premium money long after the premium feeling has completely worn off. And now we arrive at the surprise of 2026. A vehicle that has been quietly outperforming its competitors for years, while most luxury shoppers refuse to even consider it because of the badge on the hood. The Kia Telluride is the three-row family SUV Kia built when they decided to stop competing on price and start competing on substance. Sit inside a top-trim Kia Telluride and you are looking at quilted Napa leather, real wood accents, ventilated front and second-row seats, a head-up display, dual sunroofs on certain configurations, and an interior that genuinely rivals vehicles costing $20,000 more. But the Kia Telluride is not selling you ambiance. It is selling you longevity. Under the hood, the Kia Telluride uses a naturally aspirated 3.8-liter V6 paired with a conventional 8-speed automatic transmission, two of the most well-understood powertrain components in modern engineering. No turbocharger to fail, no dual clutch to overheat, no variable compression mechanism to confuse the technicians. Just proven mechanical architecture, engineered for 200,000-plus mile lifespans. Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty stands directly behind that confidence, and that warranty alone shifts the math of ownership in your favor before you even leave the dealership. Now look carefully at the resale picture. The Kia Telluride consistently posts residual values that genuinely embarrass its luxury competitors, with 36-month retention often landing between 60 and 64%. Better than the Infiniti QX50, better than the BMW X1, and competitive with the Toyota RAV4 segment leaders. Pricing on the Kia Telluride in 2026 ranges from approximately $37,000 for the base LX trim to over $55,000 for the loaded SX Prestige X Pro configuration. The Kia Telluride is positioned to remain relevant through the next 5 to 10 years, because Kia has chosen to continually refine it rather than radically redesign it, which means parts availability, service knowledge, and accessory ecosystems continue to mature year after year. This is the SUV that families buy once, drive into the ground, and keep until the kids are leaving for college. So now you have seen the complete list. 3 traps disguised as opportunities, 3 alternatives that actually defend your money. The Nissan Rogue, the Infiniti QX50, and the BMW X1 on one side of the ledger, the Toyota RAV4 2026, the Mazda CX-50, and the Kia Telluride on the other. Before you walk into any dealership in 2026, hold on to one negotiating truth that almost no buyer uses correctly. The moment the salesperson tells you the price is firm because of high demand, ask to see the unit's days on lot report. Any vehicle sitting on that lot longer than 90 days is silently bleeding floor plan interest every single day, and that bleeding becomes your leverage at the negotiating table. Now here's what I want you to think about, and this is where I genuinely need to hear from you. There is one SUV I deliberately left off both sides of this list that some viewers are going to be furious about, and there is one vehicle on the avoid list that I know hundreds of you currently own and love. So tell me directly, which SUV did I get wrong? Which one are you driving right now that you would defend against every single word in this video? And which one are you about to buy this month that suddenly doesn't feel as safe as it did this morning? Drop the model in the comments. The next list I build is going to be shaped by your answer, and one of those next vehicles is going to be the most controversial SUV on the road today.